We can see it.
Perfect. So hi everyone, my name is Shahar. I'm leading the technical alliances from Logz.io, and today we have a very short webinar that this happens again. Let me try and fix it one more time. Sorry for this this mix-up.
Running into some issues. Sorry for that. Okay, let's try again.
Yes, let's try again. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And it seems that there is no echo overlap, so this is great. Sorry for all this mix-up. Hopefully, hopefully we'll be able to run everything smoothly from this point. So just introduction, quick introduction. I'm Shahar. I'm from Logz.io. I'm running the technical alliances team, and what we're going to do today is kind of provide you a very high-level overview of the Logz.io platform in order for you to be able to utilize it in your hackathon and make the most out of pushing all of your data, all of your logs into one unified data lake, and then starting to run analysis and maybe add some machine learning and AI to help you with correlating between events and logs that you might want to track during your projects. So in a nutshell, Logz.io was started by focusing on log analytics, and log analytics was built on top of the ELK stack. ELK stack, this is Elasticsearch as a database, Logstash as a parsing engine, and Kibana as a visualization tool. Last year, we kind of shifted and we are offering a fully managed observability platform. So we are basing on the log analytics, and we have added some metrics capabilities to provide you with monitoring for your infrastructure. And we're adding application performance management using Jaeger. So we are heavily based on open source tools, as you can see. And in case someone in the hackathon wants to focus on a security project, so there's an option to use Logz.io platform in order to have a cloud SIEM availability for your project. So let's take you through a common use case that we see our developers are using in a daily basis. Usually, you start with evaluating the health of your workload and to verify that everything in your environment is up and running. So this is where you will start with the infrastructure monitoring, and this is the metrics tab. Okay, so let's say that you have a Kubernetes cluster and you want to check that everything is functioning well in this cluster. So you will pick the dashboard that suits best your environment. And once you choose a specific dashboard, you will be presented with all of the statistics that relate to this workload. Okay, so let's pick the Kubernetes cluster. All the services are being populated. And soon enough, we're going to see the data with regards to this cluster. So we can see that there are 25 containers over here. We can see what is the memory utilization and network input and output. And then when we scroll down, we can see that this is the trend of our CPU usage and the trend of the memory usage correlating to each other. Now, what is very obvious in this first glance is that at around 9:30 p.m. we started to see an increase on the consumption, both on the CPU level and on the memory level. So when you check the multiple widgets that are included in this dashboard, you can see that you can filter for the cause of this increasing usage. And if we will check the services here on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see that the Nginx service actually consumes the most of the CPU. So we can filter for the Nginx service. When we correlate it with the memory, we can see that Nginx, the same service, consumes the most of the memory. Okay, so we can filter for it as well. Now this is a great a quick jump into the anomaly. So the anomaly was detected, and you can even trigger some notification to provide you with those insights. But at this point, most probably you would want to dive in the logs and check what is the root cause for this anomaly. So in most cases, you will need to open a new dashboard, or a new window, and then just correlate the filters. But using the Logz.io platform, you will just go to this button, Exploring Kibana, and click this button, and quite instantly you're being redirected to the log dashboard. Okay, so this is actually the ELK environment. This is we jump to the Kibana section, and when we scroll down, we can see that all of the filters were carried over to this dashboard. So you can see it's the same cluster, it's the Kubernetes system, it's the same service, the Nginx, and the same time frame. And the logs that relate to those filters are included in this page. So you can open those logs and see exactly what is the keys and the values that were incorporated in those logs. And in this case, it's pretty much clear to see that the cause for this anomaly was the input-output exception. Okay, so this is a very common use that we see in the field. Now, how do you, for the hackathon purpose, how do you even start to use this platform? So to start and use this platform, you will go to the Send Your Data page. Okay, and by the way, I'm not sure if any of you already had an experience with Logz.io, but basically, if you log into our website, on the main landing page, you can create an account. So you are welcome to create a trial account, and you will have all the capabilities available for you. Just provide your email. But one thing that I want to note is that when you enter your name or the account name, please include the string COVID-19. Okay, So once you do this, our salespeople will know that you are part of the hackathon, and basically, they won't bother you with follow-up calls. Okay, so I think if you want to use it only for this project purposes, include the COVID-19 when you provide your name or the name of the account. So you'll sign up for the free trial. You will get an account, which will be available in a matter of minutes. And then the first step will be to go to the Send Your Data page. Here you can pick and choose the relevant service that you want to use to ingest all the data and all the logs into the platform. So if we'll check Azure, so we can see that we can, I think most commonly, we'll probably use the Event Hub. When you click on the Event Hub, you will have a very clear instructions of how to set your service to push all the logs into Logz.io. All the instructions are here, and there's wizards to almost any data source of ingestion. So you can pick one of the Azure services. You can, if you want to include metrics, so you can also use the Azure Diagnostic Metrics. And if you're using Kubernetes or containers or some other source of data, just pick and choose the one that's most relevant to your project. If it's an on-prem server that you want to push the data from, go to the log shipper section. You can choose one of the FileBit or one of the other bits and use it in order to push your data into the Logz.io platform. Once the data is being ingested by the platform, the next step will be to go to the Kibana page. And let's start with a clear query. You will set the time frame to investigate all of the data, and then you can either, if you are familiar with Lucene query language, so you can just type the query up here, and then provide the name of the service or whichever other filter that you want to include. You can use the add filter. If you prefer this UI option, okay, and then just set the type, and then type is, and then let's take service 10. This is another option. Or another nice way to filter for the data that you might be interested in is to use the patterns. So when I click patterns, I can see that I have around 2 million hits from my logs. When I use patterns, I can actually browse through all the patterns, and then if something is not related to my interest, I can just click on the filter out button on the minus sign, and in a click of a button, I just remove 400,000 logs. And if I do see a pattern that matches my interest, let's say here, fail to create data aliases for expected this error message. So I can filter for this pattern, click the plus sign. And again, in one click, I just removed all the almost 2 million logs, and and now I'm focused on the specific pattern of the logs that I want to investigate. From this, from this point, I can include some more filtering, and then once I'm comfortable with this with this query, I can actually create an alert based on this query. Okay, I will leave 5 minutes for questions. So maybe let's check one. How do we set an alert? So we can go to the new alert, either click on the create alert or go to the alerts, type my query, add my filters, decide if I want to, if I want to search all the accounts or just specific accounts. Let's say production and the demo environment. I can set the triggers, so I can set the number of logs or maybe the average, and there are multiple options to choose from. What is the time frame that I want to check the occurrences and the matches for this condition in the past 5 minutes or maybe 1 hour, and then to set the threshold. So if it's greater than 100, I can set a medium severity, and actually you can have several levels of alerts. So you can add another threshold, and let's say if it's above 10,000, so I can set a severe level of notification. Okay, if it's helpful for you, you can include a runbook. So let's say for this condition, I want you to check IP range and then block the seeder for this range. So you can provide some description of what are the remediation action that you might want to take. You can add tagging for efficient search after getting all of those alerts. And you can set an email address, so I can send this email to idan@Microsoft, or I can just set one of the endpoint notification channels. So it can be Slack or PagerDuty or some other source of ticketing tools that are used by your teams. So we saw how to set up the ingestion points for the data. We saw how to filter for specific logs in the Kibana section. We saw how to set alerts. Okay, another nice service that the platform provides is the ELK apps. So you can create your own dashboards, or you can actually pick and choose dashboards that are available for you out of the box. So let's click Azure, and then I can see all the dashboards that are built already for Azure services. Once I'm feeling comfortable with one of them, I can just click the install, and this dashboard will be available for your project in a matter of clicking a button. Each of those dashboards, you can actually start with a out-of-the-box dashboard and then just customize it. Okay, so you can fine-tune it to your will. And I would say that this, I think that for the hackathon, this should be pretty much sufficient for most of the activities in your hackathon. If you have a chance to leverage the insights, so I would recommend checking this option as well. This is a cool feature. So this is where we actually crowdsource the engineering community, and we use our machine learning capabilities in order to filter for activities that are trending in most of the major forums and blogs that the community is using. So for example, Stack Overflow or GitHub forums, we're going to check for trending issues that are being discussed at the moment. And we're going to take the indicators and evidences for the sources of those issues, and we're going to bring them back into your environment in order to verify if those issues arise in your environment. So this is very useful for events that you might not be aware of. So you cannot yet set an alert. You don't know what are the conditions. In this case, going for the insight page would actually will surface up some activities that you might want to be aware of. And then if something catches your attention, you can actually choose it, click on the plot insights, and then those insights will be included in this timetable. so you can actually dive into specific times and correlate between issues in your environment and activities that were reported from your CI/CD. Okay, so those lines are the trending insights that we brought into your attention, and those markers, those square gray markers, are activities that you can push from your CI/CD cycle and just include them in this timeline, so you can correlate between those a push of a new version and the result in activities and events in your environment. So with that, I would pause. I'll see if you have any questions. And Idan, if you see anything from the participants, let me know.
At the moment, there's no questions. Let's give them like a couple of minutes to ask questions, and if there's no questions, we can finish.
Yeah, we are 2 minutes to the top of the session. So again, just reminding you, you can go to Logz.io page, enter your email, create your account. When you create an account, you will have a trial account, so it's free for use and it has almost all the capabilities. Just remember to use COVID-19 added to your name or the account name. And again, this will help us filter for the activities that started in this hackathon.
Okay, it seems that we have no questions at the moment. So I'll say thank you very much, Shahar, for presenting today. Really appreciate your time, and I'll just remind you. So we're running the Hackorona hackathon. Today is the first day. We're going to have webinars every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you want to present in our webinars, go ahead and go to the website. It's Hackorona.in.dev, and nominate yourself to a session. We'll go over the nominations, and we'll let you know if you want your session. So again, Shahar, thank you very much for your session. It was very interesting, and looking forward to the upcoming session we'll have tomorrow. We're going to have a walkout, a virtual walkout. It's a little bit different. It's not a usual webinar. So you'll move a bit from your chair, move your body, do some exercise. It's good for that timing where we're all stuck in our places, in our homes, working from home. So let's take advantage of the virtual walkout we'll have tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone, and we're waiting to see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.